Welcome back to our daily NBA predictions here for Monday, January 6th. We have got 9 games in the National Basketball Association today. The biggest one, I guess, being honestly the Philadelphia 76ers and the Phoenix Suns. And like competitive wise, I mean, I guess, you got the 21-16 Magic taking on the 24-12 Knicks, but like, what are the Magic now? Just lost the Jazz, who I guess maybe are hot now after back-to-back wins in Florida. I don't know. We've also got a game between the Clippers and the Timberwolves. That could be something, I guess. I don't know. We'll get through all of them again today in today's video, folks. And if you have not yet, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for some more daily NBA predictions here on the channel. Earlier today, we posted our college basketball best bets, so make sure to check that video out. We've got a lot of Big Ten basketball today. At least our 2 big games today are in the Big Ten between, again, the 4 teams you see on the screen right now. We're talking about the Minnesota Golden Gophers, the Ohio State Buckeyes, the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, and the Wisconsin Badgers. So make sure to check that video out down in the description down below. And also, folks, yesterday we posted our first UFC predictions of 2025, of course, with the UFC Apex card between Mackenzie Dern and Amanda Ribas. Make sure to check that video out in the description down below. And also, folks, make sure to check out our college football predictions on the channel as well. The FCS championship game is tonight between the Montana State Grizzlies and the North Dakota State Bison. So make sure to check that video out again in the description down below. Okay, let's get now on to our first NBA prediction today. We go to Detroit, Michigan for the Detroit Pistons and the Portland Trailblazers. We like the Pistons a lot in this spot. 6.5 points, that's fine. We're still taking Portland. They're the better basketball team. There's really no debating that. Detroit is much better than the Trailblazers. The Pistons are kind of hot right now. They're 17-18, and when you look at the Eastern Conference standings, don't look now, but Detroit's in 9th. That's something, right? The Pacers, the Hawks, the Heat, and the Bucks are all about that 500 range. The Pistons are about to join them. And again, at the start of the season, you did not think the Pistons were going to be on the same level as the Bucks, Heat, and the Pacers. Again, I did not include the Hawks in that category because, the Hawks are playing good basketball right now. Again, I know they went on the West Coast and laid an egg, but still, Atlanta's not bad. I think it's interesting to see that, okay, the Pistons are now in that, same category as those squads. That's great. Detroit's playing good basketball. Again, yes, they're dealing with injuries now with Ivy being out. It is what it is. Cade Cunningham's an absolute dog. Tim Hardaway's doing well for what position they're putting him into. And Tobias Harris, I've been hating all year long. I can't hate any longer because of Tobias Harris's last performance a couple nights ago against the Charlotte Hornets. And what do the Pistons do after their win against the Charlotte Hornets? They win on the second half of a back-to-back. Cade Cunningham puts up 40 points in their victory against the Minnesota Timberwolves. And that's a big victory. Minnesota was getting 6.5 points. They were the favorites in that game, and the Pistons were able to go out there and pick up the victory. Detroit's playing great basketball right now. You can't deny it. For the Portland Trailblazers, just too inconsistent of a team. I know they beat the Bucks, and right now, it feels like anybody can beat Milwaukee. We'll get to them in a little bit. Trust me, I think we kind of have to hope they can come through. I don't know. We'll see what they do tonight against the Toronto Raptors on the road. We will get to that more later in this video, but good for Portland winning that basketball game. They did win 2 in a row a couple weeks ago, or actually last week, beating Utah and Dallas in back-to-back games. I don't think they're able to go on the road and beat the Pistons, especially a Pistons team that's really hot right now. The Blazers, they're a weird bunch, man. Jeremy Grant's still injured. DeAndre Ayton is probable for this game. The reason why he's not officially, good to go for this game is because of rest. That's something. Give me the Detroit Pistons. They're the better basketball team. I think, again, Cade Cunningham is by far the best player on the court. And if Tobias Harris can continue playing like he did in the Charlotte game, hell, maybe Jaden Ivey's injury was the best thing that could happen to Tobias Harris. Not the Pistons, to Tobias Harris. It just gets him more shots. Give me Detroit to win this basketball game, and they will cover the line as well at home against the Portland Trailblazers. Sorry. Yes, Portland Trailblazers. I don't know why I blanked there. Next up, we go to Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. We have got the Philadelphia 76ers taking on the Phoenix Suns. I like the Suns at plus money. I get it. They're 15-18, and believe it or not, they are the 12 seed right now in the Western Conference. That is abysmal. But don't forget, guys, the Sixers are still 14-19, have a worse record, and they're 11th in the East. Don't care. The Sixers are not good. Okay? Again, this is probably the game that's on the thumbnail. I don't think have we had Joel Embiid on the thumbnail this entire year this year? I don't think so. Because he's been hurt for so long. I don't think I've ever put Embiid on a thumbnail. So today's the day. All right, you've seen it. It's probably Durant and Embiid on the thumbnail. I get it. The Suns have lost 4 games in a row. They lose to Dallas, they lose to Golden State, they lose to Memphis, and they go on the road and lose to the Indiana Pacers, who are hot right now. All right, the Pacers are back. We'll get to them. I think they're the next game. I think, yeah. But again, regardless, we'll get to Tyrese and the guys next. Philly's still dealing with their own injuries. That's why I really like Phoenix in this plus money spot. Who knows if Joel Embiid plays, right? I think Joel Embiid will play, but who knows? He's questionable. He's got a foot and a nose injury. Kyle Lowry, questionable for this game. Kelly Oubre, still out. I think he is questionable, but I don't think Oubre is returning for this game. They're still very injured. Obviously, again, Jared McCain is out for the foreseeable future, but Philly is still not that great of a team. Paul George randomly has his nights, but I get it. Phoenix is on a losing streak, right? Even if you look, past, their win on Christmas, they've lost. Oh my goodness, they've lost 7 out their last 8. Wow. Oh, that's horrible. Of course, the one time I've bet against the Suns a lot in this streak, but I bet against them in the 2 Indiana games, and then the Pistons game, and then okay. Regardless, I bet on the Nuggets to beat them on Christmas. Obviously, that didn't go our way. KD's trying, man. Durant's still a very elite player in this league. Obviously, Durant has led their team in points every single night of this, 8 of 9 losing streak. But it's just, again, the supporting cast around him isn't great. And also, I got a notification on my phone literally 20 minutes ago when we pulled up. I don't know if it's made headlines yet. It probably has. Report, Suns demoting Beal and Nurkic. Report, Bradley Beal and Yusuf Nurkic will come off bench as Phoenix deals with losing streak and tension in the locker room. Okay, so 1, let's hope this is a kick in the ass. That's why we're taking Phoenix. 2, who is starting now? Okay, Royce O'Neal is questionable. No, he's out. Okay, Royce O'Neal, so he can't start. So I assume Grayson Allen's starting, and then Mason Plumlee's going to start over Nurk? Okay, guys, I get Bradley Beal. I get Nurkic hasn't been great, but really? We're going to bench Nurkic for Plumlee? Well, it was because of the suspension, though, right? Let's hope it's a kick in the ass. I don't trust Philly. Both these teams have been severely underwhelming this season. I get it. They both have injuries, but still, everyone's got injuries. Hell, look at the Thunder. What did I tell you yesterday, by the way? Shea's the best player in the game. They're going 75-7 this year. Give me the Suns. Give me the Suns on the road. I don't really care the game's in Philly. The Suns got to win one eventually, right? So why not us? Why not us, and why not us today? Give me Phoenix on the road. We're taking the Suns. Plus money spot. Give me plus 140 for the Phoenix Suns. Next up, we go to Brooklyn, New York, as we have the Brooklyn Nets and the Indiana Pacers. I'm so glad the Pacers are back, man. It just, it was a real disappointing start to the year, but it finally feels like the Pacers are putting it together. As soon as I say that, they're going to lose tonight, aren't they? They should cover the 8.5 points. Not going to lie, not my favorite play. I would never trust the Pacers to go on the road and cover this amount of points. But Brooklyn's not playing that good of basketball right now. Their only win in their last, 8 is the Bucks, and the Bucks are just odd. Yeah, they beat the Bucks twice in their last 8 games, and those are their only wins. Brooklyn's dealing with their own injuries. It looks like Cameron Johnson's on the way out. There's a bunch of teams that are in on Johnson, so I think, again, it's only a matter of time before Cameron Johnson is on his way out of Brooklyn. They've got a bunch of injuries, so Cam Thomas questionable for this game. Cameron Johnson questionable for this game. Watford, I guess he's not playing. D'Angelo Russell questionable for this game. Ben Simmons questionable. Bojan Bogdanovic out for this game. Brooklyn is dealing with so many injuries. So yes, Indiana should be able to cover this, but I would never trust the Pacers to cover anything. They're just one of these teams that do get by in a lot of these games, and yeah, they'll win them, but will they cover the 8.5 points? Again, if you were to hard press me on a pick, yes, Indiana will cover. I just don't love it. Tyrese Halliburton, back-to-back great games out of Tyrese. 33-15 in the Miami victory, 27-8 in the victory over the Suns. Hell, even the Boston victory in Massachusetts on the 29th, Tyrese with 31 points. Halliburton is back in all-star form. The media is not going to tell you that because, he plays in Indiana, but whatever. They don't have to talk about the Pacers until the postseason because they're just a flyover state, but whatever. Give me Indiana. The Pacers are the way better basketball team, and Indiana finally gets back over 500, guys. And with this victory, the Indiana Pacers are the number 5 seed in the Eastern Conference. How did that happen? I don't know. But yes, with a victory, they will be number 5 in the East. Wow. I was assuming play-in this year. But we're back. We're back, Indiana. Let's go. Pacers win, and they cover the 8.5 as well. Next up, we go to New York. As the New York Knicks take on the Orlando Magic. Guys, I want to believe in the Magic. I really want to. But they make it hard, right? They're making it hard right now, man. They're not playing that good at basketball. And I get it, the Knicks have lost back-to-back, but let's just be honest, Orlando's playing a lot worse. And yeah, the Knicks have lost back-to-back games to the Bulls and the Thunder, but at least they have the capability, it seems like, to win some of these games. Thibodeau playing his guys 45 minutes a night, all of his starters, is just, it's insanity. There's a reason Cat scored 44 and 16 and the Bulls lost. They still went to Chicago and lost the game by 13 points. But now the Knicks are at home for 5 straight. They're going to be home until the 15th of January. So again, a long home stretch for the Knicks. OKC is going to come in here and, handle business like they do against everybody against 75 and 7, just saying it. But New York should be able to handle Orlando in this game. The Magic are just dealing with so many injuries right now. Again, we talk about them daily, but again, we're talking about Mo Wagner, Franz Wagner, and Paolo Banchero. But now, additionally, you got Anthony Black, who's out, Jalen Suggs, who is out, and then you got Gary Harris, who's out as well. Again, some of these guys might play today because we don't have the official injury report yet. But I would anticipate, if we get one of them, that'd be great. But I don't think 2 or 3 are playing. It's just, again, Orlando's dealing with these injuries. And again, the storyline I kept telling you about the Magic all year long, and it's really just a storyline of this team, is that, okay, they have these injuries, but they've been able to deal with them. But at some point, it adds up, right? They were able to do it without Banchero, and we thought, maybe they were going to be able to do it without Franz. Nah, it's just, you need one of those 2 guys in the lineup. They need one of their all-stars. So again, De'Aaron Fox, become a member of the Orlando Magic, but no, the Kings are winning games now, so they're not going to trade their guys. They're doing all this to lose in the play-in. Just tank. Just go away. Oh, man. Maybe the Warriors can tank and trade Steph Curry. No, that will never happen. It's just, that's what sucks with the Kings winning 4 in a row, and spoiler, I think they're going to win tonight. They're going to win 5 in a row, and they're not going to trade anybody. Anyways. Give me the Knicks to win. They'll cover the points, too, because the Magic are just playing piss-poor basketball right now. 11.5 for New York. The Magic just need to get healthy, and that's not going to happen for a while. Actually, Palo should be back soon, so we'll see. Next up, here are these Milwaukee Bucks. I don't know, man. This is a weird squad right now. They should beat the 8-win Raptors, but honestly, I wouldn't put anything past the Bucks right now and just the pitiful basketball they're playing. 4 of 5 losses, of course. Their only win in that stretch is the one game we bet against them. It's when they went to Indiana and beat the Pacers, because of course they did. The Pacers are playing great. They come off beating the Celtics in Boston, and what happens? The Bucks go in there and beat them when the Pacers were up by 20 points. Of course. They've lost back-to-back since. And again, they've lost 4 of 5. Their losses are Brooklyn, Chicago, Brooklyn, Portland, and the win is Indiana. Make it make sense. They better bounce back tonight. There's no excuse. I get it, guys are sick. They're injured. But hell, Giannis is probable. Chris Middleton's probable with not just 1, but 2 ankle injuries. And Andre Jackson's questionable with the illness. They should all play. They should beat the crap out of Toronto. All right? The Raptors are still 8-27. RJ Barrett is questionable for this game with an illness, so that's a huge hit if they don't have RJ. Guys, the Raptors have won 1 game since early December. They're 8-27. At one point, they were 7-16. Sorry, 7-15. Get it done, Milwaukee. If you lose this game, and you better cover 2, I don't know what to say. Okay? The injured and wounded Orlando Magic still beat the Raptors by 9 points in Toronto. Go get it done. You've got Dame, you got Giannis, you got all these guys on your team. Get it done. The Bucks cannot go back to what crap they were at the beginning of the season. Give me the Milwaukee Bucks to go on the road to Toronto and take care of business up in the 6. Next up, we have a game that's really close in terms of the odds. We're talking about the San Antonio Spurs and the Chicago Bulls. I like the Spurs to go on the road here. Chicago is, though, just one of these teams that randomly have really good nights. They're 16-19, so again, around just mediocre. Of course, they are able to win, Derrick Rose night the other night against the Knicks. They won that game by 13 points. That's great. Chicago has now won 3 of 4 victories over the Hornets. Wizards, horrible. They lost the Wizards, excuse me. Bucks, Hornets lost the Wizards and the Knicks. That's why I thought New York was going to be able to get them, but I don't know. The Wizards just randomly beat teams now, but when they play the other horrible team in the NBA, they lose the Pelicans twice. Make it make sense sometimes, I just want the Bulls to trade these guys. Not because I dislike the Chicago Bulls, just because I want to see Zach LaVine play meaningful basketball. Okay? LaVine's playing great. He's playing out of his mind. Again, the win over New York, LaVine puts up 33 points. Vucevic, is playing well. Giddey's playing well. And honestly, the Bulls have pieces. They do. They just don't play defense. So again, on those off nights where the team that's playing them just doesn't have a great night shooting, then the Bulls will take advantage and they'll win some of these games. They are a high-scoring team that simply put can't play defense. San Antonio is going to be able to score. I personally really like the Wembanyama-Vucevic matchup. I think it's a matchup that Wembanyama is going to feast with, and honestly, Wemby feasts in a lot of matchups. They lost the Nuggets game in overtime. It is what it is. It's fine. Wemby had a 20-20 game like he seems to just casually do now. I think it's only his second of the year, but still, it's just the guy's amazing. Right? Future of the league. The next chosen one. Everything we thought Zion was. No, I'm kidding. I don't know. Zion's just Zion. Anyways, Wemby's that guy. He had an off night scoring in the second Denver game, only scoring 20. I'm sure that'll be ramped up here. And I just like the matchup for Wembanyama here going against this Bulls team that really can't play defense. I like San Antonio to go on the road and really just take care of business here against the Chicago Bulls. Give me San Antonio minus 130, and of course they'll cover as well. Next up, we go to Memphis, Tennessee for the Memphis Grizzlies and the Dallas Mavericks. So two teams that are in the top 5 right now, the top 6, of the Western Conference, and two teams that are just injured, right? Memphis has now lost 3 of 4, lost to OKC as expected, and then Sacramento and Golden State over in California. They were able to go to the West Coast and, of course, beat the Phoenix Suns. But Memphis is still very injured, right? John Morant is still out. He is still out for this game against the Mavericks, right? We can go over their entire injury report, but still Marcus Smart's still out. Desmond Bane is doubtful, so he's likely not playing. Yuki is probable. That's great. Santi Aldama's out. Luke Kennard's out. I think this is going to be Jimmy Butler's team. I think he kind of fits this Memphis squad, I'll be honest with you, and they are a team that's kind of good right now in a win now mode. So honestly, I could see it. Regardless, Dallas is injured too, though, right? Dallas is without Luka Doncic, obviously, and now Kyrie Irving's out with an illness. So I don't care how many injuries the Grizzlies have. Dallas is without their 2 stars, so there's no way in hell the Grizz don't win this basketball game. They right now have the guy who is currently the leader in the Rookie of the Year race. We're talking about the Purdue Boilermaker, Zach Edey. Jaren Jackson is an all-star this season and an elite player in the NBA. And they've still got Jalen Wells, who randomly will have really good nights. The Grizzlies will be fine in this spot. They'll win the basketball game. They're in the FedEx Forum as well at home. I think Memphis is fine. They'll win the game, cover the 5.5 points, and obviously win outright as well. So give me Memphis to win at home here against the Mavs. No Luka, no Kyrie means no victories. Who the hell is going to score? The last time the Mavs had a spot like this, they lost in Sacramento and didn't look great at all. So give me Memphis to win this game fairly easily. Next up, we move on to Minneapolis, Minnesota. To the wrong way there. The Clippers go into Minnesota to take on the Timberwolves. I do like the Clippers, okay? When we took the Hawks the other night, that was randomly just a Clippers voodoo, we can't miss a shot night. That's what it was. The Clippers are back and taking on the Wolves here. Kawhi Leonard, I think he's playing. Right, he has to play. Kawhi Leonard puts up 12 points in that game. He took a back seat to Norman Powell and James Harden. Again, that's the way the Clippers need to approach things. We'll see again how Kawhi is fully thrown back into this Clippers lineup, obviously, with the emergence of a guy who should be an all-star this season in Norman Powell. The Timberwolves are too inconsistent for me, though. They're too inconsistent. They're a 17-17 team. They've lost 3 games in a row. Anthony Edwards has just been kind of mid. Yes, again, Ant will have his nights. He bounced back in a big way in the Pistons game. I completely understand that. I know he put up 53 points. He had more than half their points. I get that. But the 5 games prior to that, again, Ant was just kind of, He was good in the Pistons game. I'm not going to deny that at all. He was literally the only guy that could get going for the Timberwolves. So don't take that the wrong way. But again, I went through that again. The Houston game is just kind of, San Antonio game, OKC game, 20 points. Boston game, Again, he erupted in the Pistons game, which is great. If we can get that again in the Clippers game, that'd be nice. I think, again, though, even when Ant scores 53, they still lose the Pistons. So give me the Clippers. Kawhi Leonard is back. That's just another guy teams going to have to deal with. I thought, again, it was going to create somewhat of an issue for the Clippers because, now Kawhi is going to have to play with both Harden and Norman Powell. And, again, the shots and the time with the rock that Norman Powell commands, but they were fine in the Hawks game and they seemed like they couldn't miss. So let's just parlay that into a game on the road here in Minnesota, especially against a Timberwolves team that is struggling. They have lost 3 in a row to OKC, Boston, and Detroit. Again, given 3 really good basketball teams. And yes, the Pistons right now are a really good basketball team, but ultimately I think the Clippers are a good basketball team as well. Give me Los Angeles on the road in Minnesota to win the game and to cover the 2.5 points as well. Let's go on to our final game of the video. We go to Sacramento, California. You know I hate to do it, but we're taking the Sacramento Kings to win. I can't trust the Heat. Again, we said it in the Utah game, and I'll be honest, I didn't pick the Jazz, but I probably should have. I said, basketball is the last thing in this one game for the Miami Heat is the last thing on their mind a couple nights ago when they played the Jazz, and the Jazz went in there and just killed them. It wasn't a close game in South Beach. Sacramento is going to mop the floor with the Miami Heat this game. I get it, second half of a back-to-back, but Sacramento has kind of found it again. I think they're getting hot again shooting-wise. And ultimately, yes, they're just playing bad teams right now. They're beating some bad squads. I get that. But they should be able to beat this Miami Heat team that just looked horrible in the Utah game. I get it. Jimmy Butler is not the integral piece of this team, at least in 2025. He's not. He was obviously the times they were in the NBA Finals, obviously, and when he carried them to those finals. But yeah, Jimmy Butler is not essential to this team right now. It's just with everything that's going on around them, it's just, that's brutal. It's brutal. Tyler Hero's still great. Bam Adebayo, those are the leaders on this team. But I do think this Kings team is able to beat them. The game's in California. It's it's a long road trip for the Miami Heat. I think the Kings get it done even on the second half of a back-to-back. I like De'Aaron Fox and the guys in this game. Sacramento is getting it going. They've won 4 in a row. Unfortunately, we're going to have to say we're going to make it 5. Give me the Sacramento Kings to win at home, cover the 3.5 points, and, obviously win at -150 as well here against the Miami Heat. So, folks, thank y'all for watching our 5 best bets. That was an earlier video. Thank y'all for watching our NBA predictions here for January 6th. If you have not yet, though, make sure to hit that subscribe button down below for more. Make sure to leave a like if you did enjoy the video. And, folks, make sure to comment if you do disagree with any of the picks. Folks, thank y'all for watching. And Mamba, forever.